Hello friends. So glad you've joined me back here at YouTube again today. Appreciate you stopping by. I am Lauren from Mama's Learning Corner. Today we are talking 10th grade homeschool curriculum. I have a lot to say about 10th grade homeschool curriculum. There's stuff everywhere. I'm going to share it with you all here in just a second. If this is your first time here at my YouTube channel, my name is Lauren. I am a mom of 5. This year I have a 12th grader, 10th grader, 8th grader, 6th grader, kindergartner, big wide range of ages. Probably going to be my most challenging homeschool year yet, since there's such, extremes. But so far it started out really well. I blog at Mama's Learning Corner and have for the past at least over a decade, 11 years, 12 years, I think it's 11. Anyway, talk about all things homeschool. Sometimes I talk a little bit about mothering or running our house, what home life looks like for us. So yeah, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you've joined us today. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I wish you would. So so all my newest videos will show up in your subscription feed. All right, so let's talk 10th grade homeschool curriculum. Now, my oldest girl is in 10th grade this year. And in some way, so this is, it's convoluted. So my oldest boy was at school 7th through 9th grade. So I haven't taught him like a tradition. I haven't been his teacher the whole time. So it's not been like a traditional homeschool experience if you were homeschooled the whole, 12 years, 13 years. So, but my oldest girl has. She has been homeschooled from the start, never went to school. My oldest boy was the only one who did, and he came back home 10th through 12. So in a lot of ways, my 10th grade girl is like my guinea pig of high school. In some ways, a beginning high school at least. So I have made some mistakes with her, just like I have with all of them, and hopefully I have figured out those mistakes her freshman year, and now her sophomore year can run more smoothly. It wasn't curriculum choices that were poor decisions for me. It was just how to implement those those choices. So I learned a lot last year. This year is already just going much better. So let's take a look at what she's learning for 10th grade. I've already published 6th grade curriculum choices and 8th grade curriculum choices. I'll leave those links in the description below. But what I showed you first in those videos were my planning pages. And this is how I plan every single week. The goal is to have the whole week on autopilot. If it's not on this page for school, it's probably not getting done. So Sunday night, this is my job every single week that we're having school, is to get this completed. I also mentioned that my children are color-coded. They have been forever, and it makes it so easy to pick out which materials are theirs. My oldest girl is blue, so her name's highlighted in blue. Everything you see in blue is a test, quiz, recitation, something she gets a grade for. Everything in yellow is a class time, a specified class time of the week that she has with me, where we go over answers to questions, any material she doesn't understand, those types of things. And then the date is in red. Now, you will notice that these aren't filled out at all, because at the top of my page, I always fill in first those classes that I've outsourced. So for this child and for this year, I've outsourced several things, and I'll start with those first. The first thing is composition. My children have taken composition through Memoria Press Online Academy for years. The fruit I see from that is just remarkable. I'm just so pleased with their writing program. And that's a lot coming from me, because I was really hesitant and skeptical about that method of composition. But the fruit I've seen from it and my high school children has just been amazing. This year she is taking, again, another class online. It's just her next step in that series. And she's in stage 6, so it's encomium, invective, and comparison. And that's just the stage of the program that she's in. So those classes don't start for another couple of weeks. They don't start till after Labor Day. But our school started 3 weeks ago, even though we're in our 2nd week. So that's what she'll do for composition. The other one I've outsourced to Memoria Press Online Academy is her classical studies. And for this year, she's doing Greek plays. I know nothing about Greek plays. I mean, I know nothing about half the stuff on those shelves until like I read it myself. So the things that I'm not going to be able to read and absorb and understand, like I have to outsource. And this was one of those. You know, there's only so many hours in the day. I'm doing City of God with my son. I'm doing lots of big, like high school biology, high school world history. You know, there's just only so many hours in the day. So I chose to outsource this one. She's taking Greek plays. So it's Medea, the 3 Theban plays, and the Rustin trilogy. And so then those are the workbooks that Memorial Press creates and requires for the class, and then the text that she'll read for that. So we have not had a Memorial Press class yet that I thought was a dud. They have totally exceeded my expectations, and we've taken several. Composition, lots of Latin, classical studies. So super pleased, and I expect this year will be great for her in that regard. The next one I outsourced is her French. I know zero French. I took Spanish. But when my children get in high school, if they've completed a certain amount of Latin, then I let them choose whatever foreign language they'd like to take for 2 years. She chose French. It's thankfully an in-person class. There's just a few kids in the class. That setting is so perfect for her, and this is what they use. I'm not going to attempt to say that because Southern French, I'm sure, is not welcomed. So if you've watched any of my other videos or read any of my years of curriculum posts, because I publish our curriculum choices each year, then you'll know that from 4th grade and up, my children have their own personal study of the Bible. So it's not like devotional type study where you read the Bible and then answer questions, although that is sometimes the case. But we do a Bible time in the morning where that type of studying is done. However, we're using the story of Christianity this year from Memorial Press. It's just an overview of really the birth of Christ forward. And I love it. It is in such good little bite-sized pieces. Now, Memorial Press publishes a text, but one of the mothers in the forum suggested this illustrated copy by David Bentley Hart, like in the Memorial Press forum. It is beautiful. I'm so tickled. I got this one. So because it adds like timelines down the side, it adds rich little snippets of wisdom, it adds beautiful artwork. And I got these used, I believe it's from A Books. I'm not sure, but I bought them used like new, and they have been like new. They are just so beautiful. I mentioned also in another video that once my children are in high school, I buy them their own texts. So she has one of these and I have one of these. I always give them, if I buy used, I always give them the nicer copy, but most of the time for my children, I give them the new copy because it'll be on their bookshelves as adults. So this is for their personal library. But boy, that's a beautiful book. So in typical Memorial Press style, they have reading notes at the front, and these reading notes are pretty extensive, but they're very, very good. And then questions to answer about the 3 to 5 pages of text that you read. Very good bite-sized pieces. It comes with quizzes and tests. Very manageable, very manageable. Math and science. So for math this year, I don't have a book to show you because this is the first year we have tried using Mr. D Math. I have no idea how that's going to go, honestly. We're only in our 2nd week of it. I found some little kinks that we're having to work out in terms of me being able to tell where they are in their math studies. But this year, my 10th grader is taking geometry. We're also using it for pre-algebra and to wrap up some pre-calculus. But so far, I've been really pleased, and she has too. His teaching style is just very methodical and logical, and he explains more difficult concepts easily. So far, it's been okay, but you know, we're only the 2nd weekend. Interestingly, there's no book. You just print all of the, like, their work pages that you do the work along while he's teaching. And then there's quizzes and tests that are online. Not so much a fan of that, but we'll see how it goes. I may turn into a huge fan of that. We'll have to see. I taught her algebra, BJU's Algebra 1 last year, and my plate is just too full to do geometry. Plus, I hate geometry. Like, I hate geometry. I just can't teach that. I won't teach that. So that was an easy choice to outsource that class. But I do stay pretty on top of it though, like what's going on from day to day. Last thing about geometry is there's a live version, a live class, and there's a self-paced option. We chose the self-paced option. So far so good. Oh, I also like that for Mr. D, they have online office hours. That's really helpful. And they're like Tuesday through Friday, an hour for Tuesday through Friday. So she's had to use that one time. And it's just week by week. If you need help, you go to the office hours. I really like that. Okay, for science, we are doing BJU biology. So I was torn between whether to do the self-paced teaching option for that. I decided against it though. Number one, like our budget doesn't allow for that. Like it just doesn't allow for that this year. Plus the teaching option for BJU is the older version of the biology book, and I wanted the newer copyright version. I feel like the older version was 2014 and this one is 2017, I think, but I may be wrong about that. So I'm teaching it to her. I feel like I've got a good plan for biology, and so far it's going really well. It comes with a text. That's what I was going to show you. It comes with a text and a lab manual to do the labs, that explain the labs. And then of course it comes with teachers manuals. So science was where things went kind of bad last year. And I did not understand exactly what she needed from me as a teacher, but I understand now. And like I've corrected those things, and excuse me, I'll probably do a video about that because for her learning style, I feel like these are good tips. So I'll do a video on it. But so far, biology, excellent. And I love BJU the way BJU is structured. Like if you're going to use a textbook, which I know is kind of poo-pooed in the homeschool world lately, it's a good setup, and I like the way the tests are written out as opposed to some other publishers. But my 10th grade girl loves a textbook. She sees that as like bite-sized, compartmentalized information without being overwhelmed. So that's good. I know that's not the way textbooks are always viewed, but for her, it really works well with her learning style and just the way her brain works. So I'm good with that. 10th grade literature. Well, I kind of hemmed and hawed about what to do with that because I wanted to combine my 10th grader and my 12th grade boy, if I could, in literature this year. I really wanted my 10th grade girl to do an American literature year, just straight American literature. But in order to combine, I couldn't do that because my 12th grade boy had already done that in 9th grade when he was at private school. So anyway, make a long story short, I've combined most of the things that they're doing this year. So and it's going great so far. That little bit of competition between the two of them, perfect. So far we have started out with Hamlet, and it comes with a teacher guide. This is from Memoria Press. Comes with a teacher guide. This is the shorter, like smaller workbook version that they do for upper school. I'm not such a huge fan of it, and neither are my children. The change in style. There's things about it that I absolutely love. And then there's other things that we just don't use because we're not in a classroom type setting, and I feel like that might be easier in a classroom. I could be completely wrong. But the parts of it that we use, we love, and we do use like 90% of it. Comes with quizzes and tests, comes with answers for the teacher. However, I read it along with them because I can't discuss it with them and answer questions and us have like discussion if I haven't read it. So there are a few scenes ahead of me, so I got catch-up work to do this weekend. So I decide how I'm going to pace these literature selections using mostly the downloadable lesson plans from Memoria Press. You can order just Hamlet lesson plans or just Scarlet Letter lesson plans. So that's mostly what I've used, and then just tweak them to fit our family. So we're doing Hamlet first. Next is Tale of Two Cities, and it's that same smaller workbook style. Let me just say, I just said I wasn't a fan of these, but I am. There's parts of it that I really do like. It's real heavy on literary devices, and I'm not really good at that. So them pointing them out constantly is a huge help to me. But that wasn't actually true what I said, that I wasn't a fan, because there's things I really like about them. Otherwise, we wouldn't use them. Anyway, Tale of Two Cities. So this is the student workbook. It comes with a text. I bought text for both of them. Our homeschool budget was like big this year. Yeah. So, but I mean, that just kind of is the way it is. That's just kind of the way it is. We're also working through British Tradition 2, also from Memoria Press. So it comes with its own text, and then the workbook, and then the teacher book. So I think there's a British Tradition 1, 2, and 3. This year we're doing 2, and it's Elizabethan to neoclassical age. So famous poetry, famous short stories that are just Western civilization focused. These are excellent. I've read through most of the book. Excellent choices. Then she is going to work on the Scarlet Letter by herself, with me, of course, but she and her brother are going to split. And we're going to work through this about 8 or 9 weeks, maybe 7. And then the end of the year, we're doing Pilgrim's Progress. I don't have a study guide for this. I think we're just going to read it and discuss it. I don't think we're going to do like the intense workbook type things. We'll probably write a couple of essays, but that's about it. So that's a pretty full literature year, but the pacing of it is not bad. I feel like it's very doable. So, okay, last thing I have to show you for 10th grade homeschool curriculum is what we're doing for history. So I was on the search this year to find a world history that was all 1 year. Lots of world histories are broken up into 2 years. And that would have been fine for my 10th grade girl, but my 12th grade boy needed a 1 year world history. Just, overview, exposure type thing. And I wanted to combine them in world history. So I chose BJUs. I looked at master books. I looked everywhere. I looked at master books. I looked at Compass Classroom, but theirs was more than 1 year. Anyway, I settled on world history with BJU. So it comes with the students, it comes with a text, and it also comes with the student activities book, which I love. It's the student activities book in their high school history classes are just excellent. Every one I've read so far. It's mostly primary sources and analyzing primary sources. Very, very strong in critical thinking and analyzation. Love it. It also comes with teacher's guide, of course, and the answers to the student activities book. So I do not assign every single question in the section review or the chapter review at the end. I go through and see how the test is laid out first, and then I assign questions from that. And yes, that is teaching to the test, but it's not the same thing as like in a public school sense. The things that are on the BJU test or the Memoria Press test or the Rod and Staff test, those are the things that are fundamental to understanding the concepts that they are presenting in the book. So it's absolutely my goal to teach to the test, because those are the things that are valuable of understanding, memorizing, pondering on. Like that's where the value is in the content. So I absolutely teach to the test in all of these subjects that we do. I am super excited about my girls' 10th grade year. I think it's just going to go really, really well. And I'll tell you, part of that is because I feel like I understand how to teach her better. I've spent a long time thinking and praying about how her year can be better, and meaning not overwhelmed, able to complete the amount of work that is not overwhelming. So I feel like I've got some little glimpses into how to improve that. So far, things are going really well. I have just prayed over how to make this better, and I feel like I have some good solutions. So I'll share those with you a little later in the year. and share exactly what kind of struggles I had, because it just might be helpful to you. So if you have children in a variety of ages and stages like I do, go find the other videos in the description below. I've yet to publish 12th grade, and I've yet to publish kindergarten. So those are the next videos in the queue coming. And I've also gotten a lot of questions, like in homeschool questions in email. So I'll be happy to do like a little chit-chatty Q&A like in the coming week or two. I always like those. Those are kind of fun. I often post things in the community tab here on YouTube. So make sure you click subscribe, and then it'll show those to you in your subscription feed. But if you ever have questions or suggestions or ideas for videos that you'd like to see, anything related to homeschooling or homemaking or mothering, I'd be happy to talk about. So just shoot me an email, mama, M-A-M-A, at mamaslearningcorner.com. Okay, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you.